Thurgood Marshall was born on July 1908 in Baltimore, Maryland. His real name was Thurgood. His mom was an elementary school teacher, and his father worked on a dining car on a train. It was segregated in Baltimore. They lived under Jim Crow laws. When he was 7 or 8, he went to the courthouse to listen to cases. He was above average student, but he was also a troublemaker. He got suspended 2 times and memorized the whole Constitution as a punishment. His father told him that if anyone calls you the N-word, I order you can start a fight with him. Once he got into a fight while getting on a trolley with a lot of hat boxes he couldn't see over. He walked in front of a white lady and somebody grabbed him and called him the N-word. And Thurgood started a fight. He graduated from high school in 1925. His first job was a waiter in the dining car, just like his dad. He went to Lincoln University in Pennsylvania. First, it was an all-men's school, but now it's both genders. He went to Howard University in Washington, D.C. for law school in 1930 and finished first in his class and was offered a scholarship. This shows his hard working and diligence. He learned respect to treat people with honor when working with his teacher Houston and later with Howard, both whom later he worked with. In 1929, he married Vivian Bury. Then she died in 1955. He remarried Celia Suyat in 1956 and had 2 sons, Thurgood Jr. and John. Thurgood Marshall started working as a lawyer in East Baltimore in 1933. He got hired by the NAACP, or the National Association for the Advancement of Colored People. Later, he worked in New York City. One case he worked on in 1941 was about 4 bodies found in a house in ruins. A black guy named Lyons was framed for the crime. Thurgood Marshall represented Lyons on appeal in front of the Supreme Court. He lost the appeal, his first civil rights loss, in front of the Supreme Court. He argued 32 cases in front of the Supreme Court and won 27 of them. Working as a lawyer showed his tolerance, showing that he was able to put up with the legal process. Arguing to the Supreme Court also showed his leadership and guidance to other civil rights lawyers at the time. Marshall worked on the Smith versus Allred case in 1944. The case is about how black people could not vote. 14th and 15th Amendments are about equal rights for all people, including voting. He won that case. Everyone could vote. It was a big step because the court ruled that the 14th Amendment says that everyone born in the USA is allowed to vote or a citizen. Race doesn't matter. In 1946, Thurgood Marshall won the Spring Guard Medal from the NAACP, which is the highest honor in the NAACP award. In 1948, the press called him Mr. Civil Rights. In 1955, he worked on the Brown versus Board of Education, which is about a dad named Brown to get his child into white school because he didn't want separate but equal. The dad wanted the school desegregated so the child could go to a better school. But they were not. But they were supposed to be equal, but they really were not. The black schools were old and didn't have the same things as white schools did. The Jim Crow laws were supposed to be about separate but equal. Separate but equal means that black and white people could not do anything together. The Supreme Court decided that separate but equal is not fair and that Brown got to go to school in the white school. I thought the court did not set a deadline for the school. In 1962, he was appointed to the Second Circuit Court of Appeals. In 1965, he was appointed to the Solicitor General, the third highest legal position in the country. In 1964, the President signed the Civil Rights Act of 1964, which said there was no more segregation. In 1967, he was appointed to the Supreme Court as the first African American justice. He cooperated and worked hard with 8 other justices. His legacy is that several schools around the country are named after him. There is a scholarship funded in his name to help students pay for college at one of the 38 Black historical colleges. There is no more legal segregation.